And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should any emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would be just a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically, and in addition, we're running our new number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern part of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I have a solid copy. You're running S6 to 9, mostly S8 to 9 lately, from southern Indiana directly. However, unfortunately, I do not have an SDR capability here. I wish I did have, but you're doing very, very well. I'm wondering if how well you're copying at the present time. So back to you, Jim, and I have an interesting tape of a fellow in Tasmania, which is just a little bit south and east of Australia. And this fellow was on the north side of Tasmania, Hobart being the capital of Tasmania, and he was only running 100 watts. There was terrific static that morning at 5 a.m., and I don't think that was, less than a week ago, and he was running 100 watts to this wire quad loop antenna. So if you copy okay, I will let you hear that. K1GZL. Go ahead, Jim, and are you copying through Milford?
Roger, Roger, Charlie, copying through Milford at 40 over. Beautiful signal. Roger, Roger.
Beautiful signal. Roger, Roger.
Okay, Jim, and here is Roy, VK7 Roger Ocean Yoke, with his 100 watts. That's all he was running. No beam. Just a loop antenna. Here he is, I hope.
Yankee. I think that's a good signal. I didn't really take too much notice of the signal, but it sounds bloody strong. Kilo 1, Germany, Zulu, London. VK7, RADIOLAND, Yankee. Go ahead. K1, London, VK7 Radio Ocean Yankee. Charlie, I don't know how you did it, but you got my operator name correct. I'm really not sure how you worked that one out, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. It's 10 to 7 here, Charlie. 10 to 7 in the evening. And you're 5-9 plus 20, Charlie. Thanks, Charlie. You did guess the name. The name is Roy. Radio Oscar Yankee. I'm in the opposite side of the island, Charlie. I'm the opposite side of the island to Hobart. I'm up in the north of the island, Tasmania, QSL. Sounded great. It sounded like I was talking to myself. Go ahead. Yeah, look, I'm only giving you 100 watts here, Charlie. 100 watts, a single element quad-loop antenna. A single element quad-loop antenna looking long past Europe. My quad-loop antenna is looking long past into Europe. I'm only 100 watts, running the STDX3000 with the Yaesu microphone, the MD100, go ahead. GZLVK 7RY. Well, it's certainly working for you, Charlie. You look in the right direction. Yeah, we're not too far off Melbourne, mate. If you're looking towards Melbourne, you're not far off at all. We're just a little bit lower, of course, to a little bit to the left from Melbourne. So, yeah, you've got the antenna in the right direction, Charlie. And, yeah, it's doing fine, mate. It's doing a wonderful job. Go ahead.
Okay, Jim, I wonder how that all came through. VK7R, KC9VKV, K1GZL. Was that copyable?
Oh, yeah, Charlie, just perfect, man. Just super quiet and beautiful. Roger, Roger.
Super quiet and beautiful. Roger, Roger. Okay, well, thank you very much for that comment. I've been trying to get rid of the background noise, trying to get rid of any surplus background noise, which was causing, problems in the past. Okay, Jim, I will say 7-3. Give you a chance to work other people. And I appreciate your comments. And there Roy was. You could imagine what he would have sounded like if he had a beam antenna and say 1,000 watts. He would have blown my socks off and then more. Hi. So Jim, thank you so much for a good one today. And thank you for that report coming through Milford. KC9 Victor King Victor. This is K1 Germany, Zanzibar, London, Charlie in northern New Hampshire at Clarksville, 4 air miles east and southeast of the Quebec border of Canada. It's been a good one there, Jim. Absolutely terrific.
Roger, Charlie. 10-8 all the way, sir. Good signal. Thanks for opening up our show, as always. 73 that way. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. My name is Jim, and better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series. So, without further ado, let's open it up and see who's out there. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilo 4, Papa, Quebec, Uniform.
Roger, Kilo 4 station. Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign, please.
Phonetically with your call sign, please. Kilo 4, Papa, Quebec.
Oh, I had a SDR shut down right in the middle of that. I'm sorry. What's the name there?
I'm sorry. What's the name there? The name here is Will, Whiskey India Lima.
Roger, Will, and where are you located, sir?
Roger, Will, and where are you located, sir? I'm in Lexington, Kentucky.
Roger, Will. Somebody's got a jammer on the frequency. I'm not real sure why, but we've got them, and the problem is trying to get rid of them. Anyway, Will, what you running today, radio-wise?
I'm running the Icon 7300. I had you help me set it up there a few weeks back, and was just wondering if it's still...
Sorry, Will, I went to my local antenna. I thought I might have a copy. You know, we're up around Louisville. So I gave it a shot, but I can't copy you. You know, I guess we're just at that distance between each other that I can't copy you locally. Roger.
Between each other that I can't copy you locally. Roger. QSL on that.
So what were you, I think you said you were wondering something, Will?
I was just wondering how my radio is sounding. I had to, if you remember, I had to help me set it up here a few weeks back, and was just wanting to get a radio check and make sure it's still sounding good.
Roger. Well, this stupid interference, you're just coming right on through that. So, and I'm looking at your audio signal and listening to it. It sounds fine. It's got plenty of articulation, and you're running about 3 dB of dynamic range, which means your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere between 80 and 85%. How do you copy me, sir?
Somewhere between 80 and 85%. How do you copy me, sir? Good. No, I copy you really good. You're good and clear. I've got a F9 signal on you. You sound superior, really good there.
Roger. Well, you know, except for this QRMer, you would have a perfect signal. So I would run it just like that. Roger.
I would run it just like that. Roger. Roger. I sure do appreciate it.
Roger, Will. So 73, sir, and we'll post this up on YouTube by noon tomorrow. And if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Like I say, we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Roger.
Series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. Roger, I do appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day. 73 from Kilo 4, Papa, Quebec Uniform.
Roger, Will. Well, gosh, in honor of our QRMer attack today, I call this one Ode to QRMer. Here's a thought to consider for my QRMer. If I were you and you were I, listen to me, brother, at least try. You don't know me, but yet you attack me. I've done nothing to you, so why? Think about it. It's not me to blame for this attack, but you. So I must represent something you distaste. But what could that be? Do my words cause you hate? Does my voice cause you pain? Think about it, brother. It's not me, but it's your rage that's to blame. You must get yourself under control. Because if it's me you attack today, who will it be tomorrow? Some kid in the park? Yes, that's your style. Attack some kid in the park in the dark because it doesn't matter to you. Just anyone will do. Your rage and hate will seal your fate. You know, I would seek help if I were you. This has been Ode to QRMer. And as we continue our search on the band for folks that need assistance, this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you need help with your radio, give me a shout. If you need help with your radio, give me a shout.
Kilo Bravo 3. Kilo Bravo 3, Hotel Echo Mike.
Okay, I got Kilo Bravo 3. Come back with the whole call sign phonetically, please.
Kilo Bravo 3, come back with the whole call sign phonetically, please. Kilo Bravo 3, Hotel Echo Mike.
Roger, Hotel Echo Mike, and what's the name there?
Roger, Hotel Echo Mike, and what's the name there? Name is Bob, Bravo Oscar Bravo.
Roger, Bob, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, Bob, and what's your location, sir? My location is Butler, Pennsylvania, about 30 miles north of Pittsburgh. Over.
Yes, well, I'm copying you on the Milford, PA SDR. You're about 30 over there. That my unfortunate jammer is trying his best, but you're well over the top. What radio are you running, Bob?
But you're well over the top. What radio are you running, Bob? I'm running a Linko DX70TH. Over.
Okay, a Linko, and what was the rest?
Okay, a Linko, and what was the rest? DX70TH.
That's a BS70TH, is that a Roger?
That's a BS70TH, is that a Roger? Roger.
Roger. Bob, is that a newer radio or an older radio?
Roger. Bob, is that a newer radio or an older radio? It's pretty old. I think it was made in the 90s.
Roger, Roger. So do you have a menu or no?
Roger, Roger. So do you have a menu or no? No, I don't have a manual, no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, the thing is, we're looking for articulation. I've listened to your signal just a little bit. I'd like to hear just a little bit more, if you wouldn't mind. Maybe tell me about your antenna system for about 15 seconds.
About your antenna system for about 15 seconds. Hey, Roger. Well, I'm running a fan dipole. It's up about 25 meters. Fan dipole. It's up about 25 feet off the ground. Over.
Roger that. Well, gosh, are you pretty familiar with your radio there?
Are you pretty familiar with your radio there? I think I'm familiar with it. Yeah, I'm pretty much familiar with it. Why do you ask that?
Because this network is all about setups on transmitters. That's our main thing. Is that a hand mic that you're running?
Transmitters? That's our main thing. Is that a hand mic that you're running? Roger, stock hand mic.
Yes, sir. Well, the best way to run that is pull it to the corner of your lips. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Do not talk into it. You will get, you're getting a lot of mouth noise. If you just pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it, you'll be fairly clean with that mic, Roger.
Corner of your lips and talk across it, you'll be fairly clean with that mic, Roger. Roger, I'm working. It's like I'm talking across it right now. Does that sound any better?
Oh yes, sir. You have no lip noise, or it's just pure audio. Now, what you might want to do you have a compressor processor in that radio?
Do you have a compressor processor in that radio? Yeah, Roger. Yeah, I do have a speech compressor. Yes.
Alrighty. We suggest putting that compressor on a 3. Anything higher just results in suck up between the words, which does you no good at all. So a 3 and a 6 are pretty close to the same, except for the suck up that the 6 gives you, which you'll be hearing somebody beat somebody else up outside if you run that 6 and it's sucking up between the words. A 3 will give you just as much activity on the actual word. So we suggest a 3 on your compressor, Roger.
We suggest a 3 on your compressor, Roger. Roger.
So once we get dialed up on a 3 on that compressor, then we would move to your ALC with the mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it. As you would say any other word in a QSO, you become a human test tone generator. And with mic in hand, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3, Roger.
Until your ALC meter is running 2/3, Roger. Roger.
Now, Bob, are we doing these things, or are you just taking notes?
Bob, are we doing these?
Pretty much right there. About 2/3 right there. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that word audio, see, I spent months trying to find the right word to say to, give it just the ability of signal composition to be able to tune it, Even the other half of audio doesn't really work. It's just the first part of that word, audio, is just such a clean thing to just adjust your mic gain, and you can just set it right on 2/3, Roger.
Adjust your mic gain, and you can just set it right on 2/3, Roger. Roger.
Let's see, audio.
Yeah, don't worry about the second half of it. Just the audio, just the first part. Hold that, and then adjust your mic gain until your ALC is 2/3.
That, and then adjust your mic gain until your ALC is 2/3.
Yeah, and you can hold that as long as you can hold that, as long as it takes to be able to just nail that right on 2/3. We used to say, speak fast, and and then adjust your audio for between mid-scale and 2/3. But when you use that word audio, it's so precise, you can just set it right on 2/3. You don't have to worry about mid-scale to 2/3. You can just nail it right there on 2/3, Roger.
Right there on 2/3, Roger. Roger.
And do you think you're there right now?
And do you think you're there right now?
Roger, I believe I am.
All right, let's go to you. Do you have what kind of equalization do you have? Do you have an EQ page, or is it how do you do your EQ setup?
EQ page, or is it how do you do your EQ setup?
I'm not really sure about the equalization. Not really sure.
All right. Why don't you, if you get a chance, consult your owner's manual or Google it and see what Google has to say about if there is or isn't an EQ capability for that radio, And if there is, we need just a little more top end for articulation. Just a little more brightness for articulation, Roger.
Just a little more brightness for articulation, Roger.
Roger on that, yeah.
Everything else sounds good, and I'll have this, we are recording, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Check recordings, and again, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger, that's KC9. What are the last 3?
Victor, Kilo, Victor. VKV, Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Victor, Kilo, Victor. VKV, Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Roger, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Bob, 73 there, sir. And did you say you were in Pennsylvania? Is that a Roger?
There, sir. Did you say you were in Pennsylvania? Is that a Roger?
Roger, I'm about 30 miles north of Pittsburgh, over.
Roger, Roger. Okay, and there's one other thing I would suggest. I would suggest leaving your ALC meter out so you can see your ALC meter, as you're transmitting. You've got to have something to do, so you might as well be looking at your ALC meter. And what you're looking for is trying to keep that voice right in the sweet spot, which is 2/3. So, as you see the meter over a period of time, like a couple of weeks, you will develop a relationship between that ALC meter and your voice, and you'll be able to nail that 2/3 level just consistently, Roger.
Nail that 2/3 level just consistently, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on that, yeah.
All right, Bob, let me say 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. Thanks for stopping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. We would love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey Uniform 3, Papa.
Whiskey Uniform 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Uniform 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
QSL, Whiskey Uniform 3, Papa.
Roger, Whiskey Uniform 3 Papa, and what's the name there?
Roger, Whiskey Uniform 3 Papa, and what's the name there?
The name is Paul, and I'm from Irwin, Pennsylvania.
Roger, Paul, and what radio are you running today, sir?
November, Quebec. Anyone in
Paul, and what radio are you running today, sir?
I am on a ICOM 718. It's a radio that I picked up to start getting into some parks on the air. And I was having some issues with my microphone, so I purchased a aftermarket microphone, and I was just wondering how my audio is. QSL?
Yes, sir. Well, you're a little hot, I think. What we need to do is go through a setup and just get that squared away. You're a little distorted on peak. So, start with that radio. What radio did you say you were on?
Start with that radio. What radio did you say you were on?
It is the ICOM 718.
Okay, 718, Roger, Roger. Well, the first thing would be to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass, and that's in. Do you have a selection for your bandpass?
For that radio, do you have a selection for your bandpass?
In order for me to gain access to that menu, I have to shut the radio off, hold the power button in and the set button at the same time to bring it up. Now, I did drop my mic gain back a little bit. I had it up quite a bit because I was using a set of headphones, and I was using Vox at this, and it seems that when I'm using Vox, it seems to work better when I have my gain up real high. So I dropped it down to 70. Did that make any difference?
You're still pretty hot. You're still pretty hot. So let's move on to your ALC meter. Your ALC meter, and with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, say it, just don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in the QSO. And adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading 2/3. 2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain control. Roger?
2/3 on your ALC meter by way of mic gain control. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I can see that now. I'm going to back it off as I talk. I'll take it down to 2/3. And that right there is about 2/3 right there.
Roger, Paul, it's a lot easier if you just say the word audio, become a human test tone generator, and just take your mic gain and just nail it on 2/3. Real easy, Roger.
Just take your mic gain and just nail it on 2/3. Real easy, Roger.
Roger that. Okay, that's at 2/3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got rid of a lot of peak distortion that way, and you're well in the ballpark. Now, do you have an equalization page?
You're well in the ballpark. Now, do you have an equalization page?
That I'm not sure of. I'm a new ham, so I'm not sure what that setting is or where it would be.
All right. Let me give you a note. When you find out where your equalization page is and how to get there. We need a little more brightness, so it'll be plus 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. Plus 3 clicks treble boost from where you are on that EQ, Roger.
Treble boost from where you are on that EQ, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. I'm going to have to get the manual out and search that out. This radio has 2 menus, one I can access. There's some other settings in there, but I think the settings that you're referring to is where I have to shut the radio down and hold the set button in and then power the radio back up, and it'll take me to that menu.
Yes, sir. Whatever it takes, but just plus 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. That will do a great deal as far as getting a better articulation aspect from that microphone. And just in passing, a word of thought is that anytime you change mics, you should always go back to your ALC meter and double check your ALC level, because not all mics are created equal level wise. And just like in your case, what you were really hot, maybe that other mic was set perfectly, but this mic was really hot, and you need to consult that ALC anytime you change mics and set it just the way we said it, Roger.
Anytime you change mics and set it just the way we said it, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I really appreciate the input, and I've never set it up that way before. But I took my gain from, I think I was set around 60. I'm down to 9 right now on the mic gain, so it was quite significant. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it was showing up as peaks being distorted pretty heavily. It sounded like you were in communication with Mars, or trying, Roger.
It sounded like you were in communication with Mars, or trying, Roger.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will go back to the menu and find these other settings. So what you're telling me is you want me to boost the treble up a little bit from the equalization. Is that correct?
That's it, Roger. About 3 clicks. In other words, if you have 0 to 10 push, and you're at a 5, I would suggest running it up to an 8. So 3 clicks additional boost from wherever you happen to be, Roger.
So 3 clicks additional boost from wherever you happen to be, Roger.
Roger. I'll look into that, and I appreciate the input. And I'm sure there's some other people that want to get on here, so I don't want to hog up all the airtime here. So I'll say 73, and you have a great afternoon. WU3P, clear.
Roger, Paul, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and incidentally, if you want to hear your radio from where we started and where we ended, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, it will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, Paul, and have a great afternoon. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Kilo Golf 4 Kilo Tango Lima.
Kilo Golf 4 Station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Golf 4 Station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, no problem. The call is Kilo Golf 4 Kilo Tango Lima. KG4KTL. The name is Scott. Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango. Now located about 80 miles east of Memphis.
Okay, Scott, was that KTL, King Tough Little, KTL, Roger?
King Tough Little, KTL, Roger?
Yes, killing time legally.
Roger, Roger. Name Scott, and where was that location again, sir?
Roger, Roger. Name Scott, and where was that location again, sir?
I'm in the great city of Henderson, Tennessee, 20 miles south of Jackson, Tennessee on Highway 45, which is the Rockabilly Highway.
Roger, Scott in Tennessee, and what radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
Scott in Tennessee, and what radio are you running this afternoon, sir?
And this is an Icom 7600, and I'm running it into. The reason I wanted to go ahead and get on here was you helped me already with the audio. And what I was wanting to do is I have two amplifiers and I have the ability to go ahead and switch between them. And since you're doing the recording, is it okay if I could do that? I would be doing one vintage amplifier versus one newer amplifier.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Are they both about the same wattage?
Oh, Roger, Roger. Are they both about the same wattage?
Well, this one's 1,000 watts right here. The one I'm speaking on right now is a Heathkit SB220. It was built in 1971, like I was. Same age as I am. And so, anyway, for 53 years old, it's still doing good. I run on the low side of the transformer in the CW2 position. And it has 23500 Ds in it. And so now this is amplifier number 1. Now we'll go to amplifier number 2, which is an Ameritron ALS 606S, and that will be running 600 watts. All right, let's see if we get. There we go. All right, we're running the Ameritron now, and bypass the Heathkit SB220, and there we go. And so it's running about 600 watts here on peaks, and with about 75 watt drive. And so there you go. There's an A/B test for you there tonight.
Roger, Roger there, Scott. Well, I just managed to run down to Knoxville, and I'm copying you down in Knoxville because I did not have. I've got a lame QRMer up on Pennsylvania SDR, where I use a lot of copy from, and it's just but you're just about 40 or 50 over as I copy the mail down in Knoxville. You must be really right in the back door of Knoxville, Roger.
The back door of Knoxville, Roger.
Well, that's interesting with the 600 watt that you're able to hear. So no appreciable difference between the two, do you think?
Not in from Knoxville, but I can sample anywhere. Let's try Georgia, okay? Let's do that test again, and I'll copy the mail down in Georgia, Roger.
Copy the mail down in Georgia, Roger.
Okay, we're going on down to Georgia. Okay, we're going on down to Georgia.
Okay, so just give me that sequence the same way we did before, and we'll call this amplifier 1 and amplifier 2, and we'll start the test with amplifier 1. I guess that's your 200, USB 200, is that a Roger? Or 220?
Your 200 USB 200, is that a Roger? Or 220?
Well, in this case, because I already am in position for we'll call it antenna 1, the Ameritron ALS 606S running 600 watts. 600 watts here from the Ameritron, and we're running it into an off-center-fed dipole about 60 feet in the tree. And so we're going to go ahead and switch out from this, and we're going to go to something vintage.
Okay, so you're giving me about 7 over Knoxville's noise level. You're giving me about 7 clicks over Knoxville's SDR noise level, and I'll be listening for the SP220 or whatever.
SP220 or whatever.
Okay, so this is the SP220. This is the SP220 right here. And I'm doing 1,000 watts peak envelope power, 1,000 watts peak envelope power, located 80 miles east of Memphis, Tennessee, and Jackson, Tennessee, 20 minutes drive due south of there. You'll find me right here, smack dab in the center of Henderson, Tennessee, KG4KTL.
Roger, Roger. Okay, as I look, I've got the audio coming back from my output of my 7300. I've got the front end so lightly gain that my S meter is not available, but I've got the output audio of the 7300 up on a VU meter, and I set my VU meter for 0 level on your first transmission. And now with the SB220, I'm getting a plus 2 dB above the audio level of the first one. So the second one is 2 dB hotter, and 1 dB, I'm running about 8 dB noise level. And let's go the other way. I'm running about, about 8 dB noise level. So you're... about 3 dB total difference between the one and the other. Roger, Roger?
Total difference between the one and the other. Roger, Roger?
Well, that's a substantial increase. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so it just goes to show there is a difference between 1,000 watts and 600. So there we go. And here we are again with 1,000 watts on the Heathkit SP220. I thank you very much for letting me go ahead, and we'll leave on this note here. Talking on the vintage built in 1971 Heathkit SP220. All right, thank you. Take care, okay, Dave? KG4KTL.
All right, now I'm on my local antenna up around Louisville, Kentucky, and you're giving me about 15 over. So I'm no longer on the Knoxville antenna. So why don't you give me about 15 seconds and tell me about the best thing you like about your radio. Roger, Roger?
Okay, so the radio is an ICOM 7600. This is on the SP220, and what I like about it is it has a waterfall display and all that. And incidentally, the tuner that we're using for all this is an MFJ 998. And so right now we're running a Heathkit SP220, and I'll switch over to the Ameritron ALS 606S in just a moment here, because you're running your local antenna and you can get a really good measurement, a really true measurement this way. So I'm giving you a good long audio sample here of the Heathkit SP220, and here we go. We're going to switch over to amplifier number 2. And here we are on the Ameritron ALS 606S. There we go. Want to make sure everything's copacetic here. Yeah, we got everything bypassed on the SP220, so everything's fine. And there we go. And so this is with the Ameritron ALS 606 running 600 watts on voice peaks. Peak envelope power there. KG4KTL.
Roger, Roger. On this particular test, they were both about the same. I would think maybe we want to look at that 7300 as far as level, audio level. Do you know how to get to, in settings, to set the bandwidth? We want to be in that 100 to 2900 wide bandwidth. Do you know how to get there through settings?
I do. It's a 7600, man. We've got that. I have it set from 100 to 2900 on the bandwidth. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And then you should be running about a 3 on your compressor processor, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor, depending on how it's labeled.
Now, what was that again?
Compressor processor, whichever one your radio is, we want it to be on a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of the capabilities of that compressor processor.
Okay, this is with the compressor on. Do you notice any difference here when I'm running the compressor here? This is with it on, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Do you have a level control for your processor? We just want a tad of it. We just want a third out of a third of it. A 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of that processor. When you get past that, you start getting suck up between the words and mushiness in the modulation level. So we just want a third of it. If you don't have an input control for your processor, I would just take it out of the circuit.
Okay, on the radio processor, the compressor itself, I'm running a third in the scope of things here. That would be a 4 out of possible 10. And then in the audio chain, we also have a Symmetrics 528 and a DBX channel strip at 286, and then a 421 Symmetrics with noise gate and compressor. So that's kind of what we got going on here, man. We got a lot of things happening here. So, but I wanted to do that A/B test with you. I won't keep you any longer. You got a lot of folks out there that want to chat. You got a lot of folks out there that want to chat with you. And I'll go ahead and sign. Here we go. I won't keep you any longer. Here we go, and I'll go ahead and sign the ALS 606, which had zero difference between the SP220, and so that's interesting. So thank you very much for the report, and keep doing what you're doing. KG4KTL.
Roger, roger. Last thing would be to double check your ALC to be sure you're in that sweet spot. Bring out your ALC meter as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is reading at 2/3. Roger, roger.
Okay, with the mic gain here, yeah. Well, let's see here. Okay, well, it's pretty doggone close. There we go. That's on voice speaks. Okay, audio. That's probably about. There we go. That's about 2/3 of it right there. There we go. Does that make any difference for you?
Oh, yes, sir. You're a lot cleaner, I think you were just a little tad warm. I think you'll agree. If you want to hear your recording, if you go to YouTube, call it a search for KC9VKV. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we'll have this recording uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. And it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700. And if you get a chance, you can join us next week also. So 73 for now there. Scott, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
All right, KC9VKV, this was KG4KTL, 73.
Roger, roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4, Bravo Tango.
Is that KI4? KI4, is that it, Roger?
It's Kilo 4, Bravo Tango, America.
BTA, Roger, roger. What's the name there?
Roger, name here is Lewis, Lima Uniform India Sierra, Marietta, Georgia, over.
Roger, Lewis in Georgia. And what radio are you running today, sir?
This is a TS480 Aircheck, the 200 waters. Running everything is standard on the radio. Double bazooka at about 80 feet up in the air.
Roger, TS480, and what was the last part of that?
Aircheck is the 200 watt.
Phonetically?
Say again, sir?
480, and phonetically the last part?
Hotel X-ray.
Excellent, sir, excellent. And you're down in Georgia, so gosh, let me go down to my Georgia SDR and see what you sound like down there. Come back to me and let me hear a little bit about your antenna system.
Roger that, sir. I have a double bazooka. It's double and 40 meters, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm copying you real well on my Georgia SDR, plus my Knoxville SDR is sounding really good. Let me see if I can get to my local antenna. Tell me about your antenna system.
Roger that, sir. It's a homemade. It's cut, sir. It's a homemade. That, sir. It's a homemade. It's cut for 40 meters, and it has two coils that shortens the end 5 meters. Speed up at the.
Roger that. Well, gosh, let's see here. That 480. Does that have a compressor processor on it?
Compressor processor on it?
Yes, sir, it does.
Alrighty, and we would be interested just in a 3 on the compressor processor. We don't want to, a bunch. We want to be tasteful about that compressor processor, Roger. Just a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger.
10 or 30 out of 100, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, that processor is on. Processor is on. Is that any different?
You're much too hot into your processor. Do you have a control? Processor compressor input control for that? We want it on a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled.
10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled.
Okay, I cut it down some more. Is that any better?
What is your input control? Is it 3 out of 30, or 30 out of 100, or 3 out of 10? What is your processor input control? What does it say?
Processor input control. What does it say?
0 to 100.
All right, you just want to set it on a 30. Set that on a 30, Roger, Roger.
Set that on a 30, Roger, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, that's about 31, over.
Close enough. Now, let's move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO. Say audio, you become a human test tone generator and manipulate your audio mic control until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger, Roger.
Is running 2/3. Roger, Roger.
Roger that. Audio. It's about halfway.
All right, so you want to push it a little bit further, turn up just a little bit more to where that ALC meter is running 2/3. That's the beauty about that word. It's so perfect for setting a level so precisely that you don't have to set it mid-scale to 2/3. You can set it dead on 2/3, Roger.
You can set it dead on 2/3, Roger.
Roger that. There's about a little bit over half on the gain, over.
Well, we're talking about on your ALC meter. See, your mic gain affects the reading on your ALC meter. So, what we want to do is be looking at our ALC meter as we manipulate our mic gain control, and we want to set that mic gain control until the ALC meter is reading at 2/3. Roger?
Meter is reading at 2/3. Roger?
I got it right now, and it's right about halfway on the meter, over.
Roger, it sounds like you might have a dirty pot or something there. It's kind of was kind of in and out there, Roger, Roger.
Was kind of in and out there, Roger, Roger.
No, I have a bad transmitter microphone. It keeps cutting out on me, but it should be better now.
Yeah, it did once or twice. Okay, now that we have your audio kind of straightened out, do you have equalization tone control capability?
Equalization tone control capability?
No, sir. This only has. I'll tell you what. On the menu, if you go on the menu on this radio, it has only four settings, which is low, high, user defined, and just off.
All right, so as far as equalization, is that correct?
As equalization, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's about it.
Yes, sir. Okay, we want high boost. We want high boost, Roger, Roger.
Boost. We want high boost, Roger, Roger.
Roger, copy it. Let me get to it, okay?
Roger, roger.
Roger.
Okay, I set on high boost 1. High boost 1, it has high boost 2, over.
I think high boost 1 will do. Tell me about the best thing you like about your radio. Roger, roger.
The best thing I like about this radio...
Radio, roger, roger.
The best thing I like about this radio is, even though it's pretty good in its power, it's all you need with a good antenna.
Roger, roger. Now, you're using the supplied hand mic, is that a roger?
I bought a HM-5, which is a mobile hand mic for this radio.
Roger, roger. You would do well to use your original supplied... well, I don't know. I can't say that about that. Best way to work that mic, though, is pull it to the side of your mouth to where it actually touches your lips on the side and work across it. Do not work directly into it. Work it from the side of your lips. Actually touch the side of your lips. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. I'm doing it now. This is at a 45-degree angle, almost about 2 inches from the opening of my mouth. How do you copy?
Yes, sir. I think that's perfect. Now I want you to go back and recheck your ALC level, because I think your level is a little hotter now than what it was. So reset your ALC level by the word audio and adjust your mic gain.
Audio. How's that? Is that any better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right there in the perfect place. So if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger that, sir. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and God bless you. Over.
Roger, roger. Now, what you might want to do is keep your ALC meter out and be looking at that as you're doing your QSOs and contests or whatever, because you got to do something. So you might as well be looking at your ALC meter. You want to try to keep that ALC meter in the sweet spot of 2/3, and over a period of a couple of weeks, you will develop a rapport with your ALC meter that you'll be able to keep that meter right in the sweet spot just by your voice. Roger?
Roger that, sir. I got it here in front of me now, and I'm regulating it between 80 and 100, which is the output of the radio, so I'll be able to monitor that very well. Appreciate the help. Thank you very much, sir.
Hey, Roger there, Lewis, 73, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Gracious. We've had a QRMer on us all afternoon long. So in honor of that, time now for another thrilling edition of Adventures in Radioland. This segment, the QRMer, a mental profile. First, you must understand that for the QRMer, deliberately interfering with your radio transmissions is a way of striking back, a way of getting even against a perceived enemy. You, yes, you represent a threat to them, and they hate you for it. And QRMing brings them temporary joy and a sense of satisfaction as they try to obliterate you. That's right, obliterate their enemy off the air, because they are true, dedicated sociopaths, a severe form of mental illness. A sociopath is a term used to describe someone who has antisocial personality disorder, better known as ASPD. People with ASPD can't relate to other people's feelings because they're so self-centered and full of hate. They were usually spoiled as a child and allowed to do whatever they wanted in regards to acting out. They will often break rules or make impulsive decisions without feeling any guilt for the harm that they may cause. The general image of a sociopath is often as a killer. a con artist, or other lawbreakers. But this is not necessarily the case. On the contrary, the nearest sociopath might be your boss, a partner, or a parent. While most sociopaths may not be literal outlaws, to be certain traits they share, and this includes a lack of remorse, a propensity for unfaithfulness, and a tendency toward behavior that benefits the sociopath at the expense of others. Ah, yes, that sounds to a T like our friendly QRMer. The true sociopath has a profound lack of conscience, a flaw in their moral compass. Normally, this moral compass steers the average person away from breaking common rules. However, with our QRMer, he has no moral compass. He derives pleasure from poorly treating his fellow ham. This internal moral disconnect, however, is often masked by a charming outward demeanor that he goes out of his way to portray when he's not trying to terrorize his fellow hams by QRMing through the bands. The terms sociopath and psychopath are used interchangeably, but while they may refer to similar behaviors, there is a difference. Sociopaths are individuals whose callous, deceitful behavior has been shaped by environmental factors, such as child abuse or exposure to expedient behavior. And because of this, sociopaths are considered to be more amenable to behavioral change and rehabilitation. And so, it turns out, a QRMer is a sociopath, and therefore there is hope for our QRMer after all. And that's why I try to reason with them instead of just ignoring them. I believe that there is hope for the QRMers to redeem themselves, because they are subject to some degree of reasoning. They just need to be honest with themselves and ask the question, why? Why do you QRM? Why do you feel led to treat other people so badly? What makes you feel good about hurting others? QRMing is not the answer, my friend. The answer lies inside you and your ability to throw off your demons and become a better person. And you can do it if you try, but it begins by asking yourself, why? Why do I QRM? Well, there you go, a little insight into our QRMers' behavior. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Delta 8 Bravo Yankee QSL.
Bravo Yankee, Roger, Roger. And what's the name there?
Bravo Yankee, Roger, Roger. And what's the name there?
Randall.
Roger, Roger, Randall. And what's your location, sir?
Roger, Roger, Randall. And what's your location, sir?
QTH, Southeastern Ohio.
Roger, Randall in Ohio. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Randall in Ohio. And what radio are you running today, sir?
ICOM 7600 factory hand mic. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, let's see here. Let me see. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me hear you and look for a better path for us, Roger.
Let me hear you and look for a better path for us, Roger.
Roger. 3 MFJ. Craft are not mounted, and have about 200 foot of hard line going to the antenna. 200 foot of hard line going to the antenna switch, and then LMR antenna. Over.
Hey, Roger, Randall. And that radio is 7600. Is that a newer radio or older radio?
No, this would be an older radio. I believe I've had this since about maybe 2009, 2010. The late wife bought this radio for me from Universal Radio there in Columbus. We went in one day to buy some headphones, and it was time to check out. And the man said, "You need to take your radio with you." And it's like, I didn't buy a radio. And he said, "Well, your wife just bought that for you." It's like, oh, okay. So because of the sentimental value, I'll never get rid of the radio. Over.
Oh, roger that, roger that. Well, let's see. Gosh, does it have compressor processor in it, Roger?
Compressor processor in it, Roger?
It certainly does. The compressor is on. The compressor is set at number 3. And the consideration on my ALC meter, which I'm looking at now, it's just touching the edge of the red, which would indicate, I guess, just about full ALC. It's not quite tipping the red, but it's right on the edge. Over.
Right. Well, we're looking for it to be 2/3, which would be to the right side of center of that ALC meter, Roger.
Which would be to the right side of center of that ALC meter, Roger.
Roger. Let me get in the menu. One moment, please.
Roger. I suggest using the word audio to set that level. Audio is, we've spent months looking for just the right word to set a level with. Audio has such a complex waveform that you get a lot of information from 25 cycles up to 2 kilohertz. And so it's just the first of that word, audio, is just a perfect word to set that ALC meter to the sweet spot, which is 2/3. Roger?
ALC meter to the sweet spot, which is 2/3. Roger?
Audio. So I went from 50% in the menu to 80%. And I'm still not quite at 2/3. Let me crank her up some more. Audio. And that's showing 90%. 90% on drive gain. And the ALC meter is corresponding. Audio. Not quite 2/3, but getting there. And the mic gain is at 50%.
Roger that. I'd put that mic gain on 55, and let's hear what you sound like.
I'd put that mic gain on 55, and let's hear what you sound like.
55%, right there, audio, and it did move the drive gain up a little more.
Roger, Roger. Now, that's a hand mic, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. Now, that's a hand mic, is that a Roger?
That is correct, yes, sir. This would be the factory icon hand mic.
Okay, the best way to work that mic is pull it to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. That will eliminate any mouth noises, or most of the mouth noises, Roger.
That will eliminate any mouth noises, or most of the mouth noises, Roger.
Roger, that's the method that I've been using probably for about 8, if not 9 years. I talk across the mic, and it's just about touching the chin. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was catching just a little bit of mouth noise there earlier. That's why I suggested that you might take that hand mic and continue to operate it on the corner, because that's I think that would be an electret condenser microphone, and they are subject to mouth noises when you work them directly. Roger?
Subject to mouth noises when you work them directly. Roger?
Roger. Somehow I may have inadvertently taken the angle from a 90-degree, maybe to like a 70-degree, and you probably caught some fuzz in there. But simply, I mean, that's the most comfortable way to hold a microphone to begin with. And it's just a more natural positioning with the wrist and the hand. And I've always
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so do you have an equalization tone control page?
And do you have an equalization tone control page?
I would have to pull that up. One moment, please. It's been a long time since I've been into that menu, so if you would,
Okay, I'm getting a lot of blow-by. Somebody sounds like they're about 1 kc off my signal. It's amazing, you know. I've been on this frequency for an hour and 15 minutes, and all of a sudden somebody pops down 1 kc off my signal and proceeds to QRM me. It's really strange. Anyway, we're talking with Randall there, and his 7600, and it's moving towards 5 o'clock. We wrap it up at 5, live from a recording. Randall, go ahead.
5, live from a recording. Randall, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm in the transceiver tone base set at -4, and it appears that the treble is set at +2. -4 +2, -4 on the base, and again the treble is at +2. Over.
Roger, Randall. Okay, come on up on your treble, 2 clicks additional from where you are. Come up 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are, Roger.
Come up 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are, right?
Okay. Transceiver treble +4. I'm sure that made a huge difference right there.
Your articulation level came up immensely, and you know this is the whole game is about articulation in adverse conditions. There's usually seldom any good signals. You know, Mother Nature has a way of putting hexes on almost all transmissions to one degree or the other. Like I say, I've got this gentleman off to my left or right. I'm not sure, and I'm not looking for him, but he's got to be only 1 kc off my signal, and where he came from, why he came from, I don't know. I've been here for almost an hour and a half, and you know, it's not good sense to start operating 1 kc off somebody else's signal that's been there, Roger.
Start operating 1 kc off somebody else's signal that's been there, Roger.
That is right. Yep. Yes, sir. And you know, the thing about that is, okay, if they're tipping your red, if they're 10, 15 over on your meter, then certainly they're going to hear you. So there's no debate there. So a lot of these people, they just don't have a life. It's intentional. It's intentional corming is all it is. What I would like to do is turn the amplifier on. And let me switch off the direct and go to the tuner, and if you would give me a second, please.
Oh, sure, sir. That's fine. I'll be standing by. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. We're recording now live till 5, and Randall is going to come back with something he's pulled out of the closet. And we're going to see how that does. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net.
VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net.
Okay, very good. So that looks like that's about maybe 250 watts right there. Over?
Yes, sir. That's. I think that takes care of the problem. It really helps anyway, Roger.
I think that takes care of the problem. It really helps anyway, Roger.
Roger. Audio. About 400 right there. And I don't know that has made much of a difference from where I initially started it or not. I hope and eliminated. If there was any bad components, they have been eliminated and the clarity has increased.
Yes, so I'm copying you down on the Knoxville Knoxville SDR. It's a little heavy on the bottom side. That particular SDR is a little heavy on the bottom side, EQ-wise, from the SDR, but its signal strength, capabilities, capture capability is just outstanding. Roger?
Capabilities, capture capability is just outstanding. Roger?
Okay, exactly. So where is your QTH?
We're just across the street from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. We're on the Indiana side, Roger?
Side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. We're on the Indiana side, Roger?
Know that neck of the woods quite well. Been down through there many, many times. Been down there many times. So how long have you been doing this VNet?
It's about 6 years now. About 6 years on Friday afternoons from 3:30 to 5. We started off in the mornings, and then we moved to after a couple of years to afternoons from 3:30 to 5. Roger.
The years to afternoons from 3:30 to 5. Roger.
Okay, good deal. Yep. I just inadvertently happened to stumble across the signal there. I thought it was interesting. I am not going to keep it, but I certainly would like to thank you for the assistance, the help with the audio settings. I'm sure there's other men and women that would like to get in here and do the same. I'm sure there's a few other operators that would like to dial in their audio with your assistance. And I hope the QRMers, be that as it may, hey, best 73s, God bless. Be that as it may, hey, best 73s, God bless. Have a great Friday. And again, thank you so much. 88BYY, Southeastern Ohio. Bye-bye.
Roger Randall, 73 there, sir. Thanks for dropping by. And if you get a chance to join us next Friday, we'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Echo 4 Tango X-Ray Romeo.
TXR, Roger, what's the name there? I'm going to tell you what, come back with your call sign phonetically one more time.
I'm going to tell you what, come back with your call sign phonetically one more time.
Sure thing. The handle is Allen. The call sign is Kilo Echo 4 Tango X-Ray Romeo.
Roger, Allen, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Allen, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
I am in Fort Lawn, South Carolina.
Roger, Allen, and what radio are you running today?
Roger, Allen, and what radio are you running today?
I'm running an ICOM 7300 with a mystery antenna, and I have an MS tuner.
Roger, Allen. Gosh, why don't you give me about 15 seconds or so and tell me about your antenna system. Let me look around and see if I can find us a better path.
Your antenna system. Let me look around and see if I can find us a better path.
You talking about the QRM in the background, probably.
Yes, it's a mystery antenna I bought from the
man, and it zooms in on 20 meters. Everything. Really, it zooms in on 20 meters. But I
find that with this tuner, I can tune it.
Fans.
Roger, Allen. Well, gosh, if you would be interested, first thing first would be to be sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, TBW, 100 to 2900. It's in settings, sideband, transmit, TBW, transmit bandwidth. We want it in 100 to 2900. That will allow your transmitter to be in its best capability, Roger.
Your transmitter to be in its best capability, Roger.
Yes, sir. I'll look into that. I got to get the manual out to do something like that. And it's sitting right here next to me.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so, well, we have a whole setup procedure. If you just wanted to take notes, I would suggest, just note to adjust your TBW to 100 to 2900, and then your compressor processor, or your compressor at a 3 on that 7300 compressor at a 3. Then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Roger, Roger.
Meter is running 2/3. Roger, Roger.
I have been copying very quickly, and yes, I got everything. And I definitely appreciate it. Said you were in Kentucky?
We're in Indiana. We're just on the opposite of Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana shore, and on the Indiana side of the the river there. Roger, Roger.
Of the river there. Roger, Roger.
Roger. And how's this? Am I getting a 5.9 other than audio?
Well, gosh, I tell you what, Alan, I just went everywhere. I've got 4 dedicated SDRs, receivers monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, and you're everywhere. So you must be running some power and sounding good. I just wanted to get to your equalizer tone control page and maybe click up that top end just a little bit. Maybe here's another note for you. Plus 2 clicks from where you are on your treble EQ boost. 2 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
2 clicks boost, treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Yes, sir, I got that down, and I really appreciate the help. Like I said, I pulled this out of the box a week ago. I had an ICOM 718 set up for a long time, and I just needed to get something new and get back on the air. 73's KC9VKV, I think is what the call is, and this is KE4TXR.
Roger, Roger, Alan. Now, on that microphone, I want you to pull that microphone to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Don't talk into it. Pull it and actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
Pull it and actually touch the corner of your lips and talk across it. Roger?
Hey, 10-4. I got that. I can handle that one.
Roger, Roger. I'll give you one more note, and that would be minus 2 clicks on your bass EQ. So plus 2 clicks treble EQ, minus 2 clicks bass EQ. Roger?
So plus 2 clicks treble EQ, minus 2 clicks bass EQ. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm going to hit the book so someone else can get in here, and I'll come back next Friday, and we'll see how the settings went.
Yes, sir. Sounds good there, Alan. We'll be looking for you. If you'd be interested in copying the mail on your receiver, we've been recording since 3:30, so if you would like to hear your transmitter, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger. You do a very fine service for us people on the radio, sir. KE4TXR, we'll be clear.
Roger, Roger, Allen 73, sir. Well, I see by the clock on the wall a dead fly. Ooh. So we got to get out of here. Since 3:30 we've been recording live, and if you have participated and want to hear your audio and what your radio sounds like, just go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page on YouTube, where we're currently featuring over 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This will be cut number 1 in that series, and we'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. And just a reminder, we run the Qso-Vlog network each Friday afternoon from 3:30 till 5 p.m. Eastern on this frequency, 7188. So here's a big thanks to all who participated, and we'll see you next Friday at 3:30 Eastern. This is KC9VKV, and we now return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV, clear.